Yeehaw, everybody! It's Timothy here with JankDiverTim, and we're going to play a little bit more Thunder Junction. We played a draft on the channel not too long ago in week 1. Had a pretty good time with a nice little 3-0 deck. Go check that one out, but we're going to go ahead and play now that we're about 2 weeks, 10 days into the format. What in God's name is Bonnie Paul Standard? We're not going to find that out today, but we are going to play some Thunder Junction. It's a good time. It's a lot to say about this format. We are going to be playing best of 3 on account of I already have a best of 1 deck loaded in, as I usually do, and like I said in the last one, I enjoy best of 3 way more than best of 1. It's just real magic. Sorry. As soon as I can find it, there it is. Alright, before we get into this, remember, as always, JankDiverTim is a cube-related community. We have cubes running 3 to 4 times throughout the week, as well as chaos drafts that we've just scheduled on Saturday and Sunday mornings, so there is a lot going on. We've had just about every day since Thunder Junction released people streaming their drafts and asking for advice and sharing these draft picks, which are just absolutely insane. So that's all to say there's a lot going on in the JankDiverTim Discord, and if you're not there, what the hell are you doing? Go get in there, partner. All right, Thunder Junction. Oh yeah, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. So let's go ahead and load this bad boy up. It might take a couple seconds to get into it. 10 days in, 2 weeks in, whatever it is, the consensus is out is that green is very, very strong in the set. And it is so strong that my last like 3 or 4 drafts, it's felt pretty much impossible to be a green deck. So I am of the opinion, well, there's 2 different approaches you can take in those situations. You can either force yourself into green and hope it works out, or you can avoid green and let everybody else fight over it. So you're giving up some percentage of a very, very strong deck in the best color, or you are sometimes avoiding situations where you train wreck because you forced a color that everybody else is forcing as well. And the news is out. The podcasters have said green is good, so people know. That being said, if I open a really good, strong green rare or something along those lines, or if I get shipped good green, I will probably move into it. There are other decks I want to explore in this format. There are things like black-white and blue-white that I think have potential, but I never seem to have a real on-ramp into those decks. I do enjoy kind of like the Grixis Spectrum decks, but they're noticeably weaker than just like beat down green-white. Obviously, green-white is like considered the best deck in the format. Whether you agree or not, it has some very obvious good stuff going on. So overall, I have really enjoyed a lot of the gameplay in this format, and the drafts are really tough. But I just like to feel out the drafts, you know? Like, I'm not one of those people who's like, oh, there's an obvious best color, let me fight for it every single time. I just find that to be a great way to just get mediocre decks. But that's where I'm at with the format. I find pretty much anything viable if you can find the open color pairs. There are some color pairs that I just have never ended up with because I don't take the golden commons highly and stuff like that. But why don't we go ahead and pause here while we wait for the seats to fill up, and then we'll continue once our first pack shows up. Alright, we are here, and what we said we weren't going to do, we're going to go ahead and do, because we opened a Bristly Bill Spine Sower. 2 mana, 2/2 landfall, put a +1 counter on a creature you control. 5 mana, double the counters on all of your creatures. This card is very good, though. And we're also not passing green. That's always nice, is when you get to just like snap off a really strong rare and you're not sending like a real signal to anybody. This is a card worth fighting for green, so I'm going to go ahead and take it. It's also like leaps and bounds better than anything else here. Best of 3, so no names to shout out. Other stuff in the pack, I like Marauding Sphinx, but blue is not where I want to start unless I have a very strong reason. Again, there's like Gem Lightfoot, and I think blue-white has a lot of potential, but if you're not willing to snap off the gold uncommons for blue-white, I just don't see how you ever get into blue-white. Tumbleweed Rising. I went on Twitter, follow us at JankDiverTim, and kind of asked people why they like this card, because I do not. I have not seen it be super strong on my opponent's side of the field. I have not felt inclined to take it, so maybe I'm wrong about that one, but not super into it. Following up, we've got some considerations. Great Train Heist can be a really strong card. It's kind of like a 6 mana double combat, give all your stuff first strike. So like if you're ahead, you're attacking, you're trying to push through, it's pretty strong. But if you're on defense, like you can use it, it's just pretty weak on defense. There's Rise of the Varmints, which you can build around in this set. Like you just go super creature heavy green-black. And I believe green-black is a good deck. There's also Cactarantula, which one of my rules of thumb in this format is your deck must be able to beat Cactarantula. If you can't, this is like the bar for the set that you need to be able to beat. I kind of want to take Rise of the Varmints, stay green, cut green, stuff like that. Cactarantula is usually just like more reliable. You do have to specifically be green-black for Rise of the Varmints. So I'm going to take the consistently strong card over something that might actually be stronger than it, but not every single time. Already kind of getting a whiff of green is not open, though. This is one of the rare packs where you can actually tell what was taken. There was a rare taken and there was a normal uncommon taken, so there's no actual signals going, which means this was the only green common in the pack, and that's fine. Still not going to take it. I'm probably just going to take Skewer the Critics. I do like Prickly Pear. This is a lot weaker in this format than Inside Source was in the last format, but still a rock-solid role player. Blue, I mean, I like all the blue cards to some degree, but I'm not going to move into blue for any of this stuff. And yeah, this pack overall is just kind of whatever. I'll take the removal spell. This is a format where removal spells are really good. You want to take them. Pick 2, or rather pick 4. No good green card to talk about. Reach for the Sky is not a card I want in my deck, basically ever. Though I could see best of 3 there sometimes where maybe you want it. There's Full Steam Ahead, which is like a card I do not value, but if I had taken the Rise of the Varmints, it gets more interesting. Void Slime is like... this is funny because it's just really hard to cast. Can't cancel. There's Blue-White Land, which sometimes you do end up in a land. I could take Wolverine, or I could just spec on Blue-White Land here, which seems a little crazy given that none of my cards are on color, but I don't think the Wolverine's that good. I really don't, and I do value being able to play multicolor stuff if it presents itself. And now we have, well, green-black land, though I really want my fixin' to be deserts. This is still fine. Like, if you were green-black, you'd be happy to have it. And if you were like green splash and black, it'd be fine. There's Betrayal at the Vault, which is super expensive, but has a pretty big blowout potential. Ankle Biter's not a card I value highly. I could take Doc Orlock and kind of see where that goes. Blue-green Plot's like not a functional deck, but good blue cards with strong green cards is kind of a deck. I see people giving me a lot of crap for taking this, but I do think you can just be a functional blue-red deck or blue-green deck, and it's fine. Ooh, okay, there's good green to see. Worth noting, Breaches, as cool as this effect is, there just aren't a lot of artifacts to sacrifice, so I'm just not looking at it. Lone Shark's fine, but I'm not going to go into blue super heavily. I love Snakeskin Veil. Snakeskin Veil is excellent in this format. It's actually just really good with Bristly Bill too. It's really good with Cactarantula as well. But I think I'm going to take Spinewood's Paladin on account of I took Doc Orlock, and that can set me up for like an insanely strong turn. I would be happy with either of these. I do not care for Free Strider Commando, though probably gets stronger once you have Doc Orlock. I'm not tying myself to blue, basically, is what I'm saying here. And it looks like I'm not going to go out of my way for anything else. Surgical Extraction. You know, in best of 3, I could see some like green-black decks where you might board this in against them, but you would do best not to put Surgical Extraction in your deck most of the time. I'm just going to take my Ankle Biter now. Like I said, I'm not huge on this card, but if you can free roll it late, which I guess this is free roll, and I could also consider a Gold Pan, but that's like really bad splashing. Yeah, I'll just cut the green card here. Now we have a Humiliate, we have an Arid Archway, and we have a Failed Fording, which is fine. Boombox, I have not found to be a card that you want in your decks, but Archery, like, don't disrespect this card. This card's very good. The more color intensive you are, like if we did end up in 4-color madness or something like that, this card gets a lot worse. But it is a land that puts you back on tempo, but it functionally draws you a card, and a land that draws you a card is pretty strong. Back to our opening pack. The Tumbleweed Rising is back. Surprise, surprise. I guess like Tumbleweed Rising does get stronger with Orlock, if I end up in blue-green, but I'm just going to take this Marauding Sphinx. Siphon Insight's a card I like, and I like blue-black, but not seeing signs of that. Caught in the Crossfire is actually pretty strong in best of 3 as well, and I like Take the Fall. I do like Take the Fall, though none of my creatures are the type. I think Sphinx is good. Okay, I'll take Shackle Slinger over Seize the Secrets. Both, like, fine filler-ish blue cards, but Quilled Charger's kind of whatever. Shackle Slinger, this isn't really the deck that wants it, so maybe I want the draw too, but I'll go ahead and take a Shackly Boy. 2 of the blue cards. There was a 3rd blue card here that I don't recall that didn't come back. Harrier Strix can be okay sometimes, but you really want to care about committing crimes. I guess I could just take Stop Cold. Harrier Strix does make my Shackle Slinger fine. It's better with Bristly Bill, but this is my first removal spell. Void Slime came back. I guess if I'm going to end up blue-green, which is what it looks like right now, then Void Slime is fine when it's castable. Daring Thunder Thief. Hashtag scrambling. Shout out to Lords of Limited there. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's the reaction you get in this set so often. Man, there's a Fractured Identity, and I have the blue-white land, and there's a Vaultborn Tyrant. That's insane. So yeah, I'm going to take Vaultborn Tyrant because it's the most on plan. Hopefully I end up with some ramp, which you can get in green. There's a decent number of ramp cards, but Fractured Identity is also a bomb. And I think some people might even, like, say take Fractured Identity here because it's cheaper, and I already have the blue-white fixer. But, wow, that's great. There's also Hard Bristle Bandit, Throw from the Saddle, and Beastbond Outcaster as cards that could wheel here. Plus Plan the Heist, which is a lot better with Doc Orlock. So let's take Vaultborn. I guess I'm still not, like, tied to blue. I know I have a lot of blue cards, but if I were to get past, like, something insane, I would probably just take it and move into a different color. Here, okay, Outlaw Stitcher is really strong, but man, I really do value the first Snakeskin Veil super highly. That might be crazy to some people. I'm not actually sure if that's crazy to some people or not, but I feel like the first Snakeskin Veil is super, super important for the green decks. Skewer is very unlikely to make the deck at this point, which means we'll have to take Throw from the Saddles pretty highly to have our removal, which I think it's like the best common in the set, according to 17 lands or whatever. Passing the Stitcher sucks, but maybe we even get Stitcher back. Blue looked really open in pack 1. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. So Stubborn Burrow Fiend would actually be a really strong 2-drop, but man, Goldvein Hydra is just another, like, certified bomb creature. Not as bomby as, like, a Vaultborn Hydra, but pretty damn bomby. Lone Shark on the wheel would be nice. Burrow Fiend would be very nice, but that's not going to happen. Even green-white land I would play here. A, because it locks up another white source if I open some sort of white splashable bomb. And B, you do want some deserts for Cactarantula. There's some other green/blue cards that care about deserts, but getting past that Hydra's great. Roxanne now. Blue-black land, Patient Naturalist. This deck does want a Patient Naturalist, but I should probably take Roxanne and just try to figure out how to make it work. I have no red fixin yet. I have no mana fixin. This doesn't really count. Roxanne is super strong, and Roxanne plus Skewer might just be better than all my blue cards combined. So I am going to take Roxanne, take a rider on the way more powerful card, pass in the Patient Naturalist, Voracious Varmint, Failed Forden, Gold Rush. If any of those wheel, I'll be happy enough. And taking this, if Jolene comes back, like, we could really consider Weatherwear. Red. There's another Cactarantula here. There's also a Silver Deputy, which is mana fixin', but this is, like, the worst mana fixin' I can imagine. Because not only is it just such a, like, wimpy body on board, but you have to give up your next draw step to draw into your desert or whatever you put on top. So I'm just going to take another Cactarantula. I'm really hoping that Hard Bristle Bandit wheels. What is this? Oh, Commandeer. No, Commandeer is Commandeer is a little bit janky. Like, I get it. It's cool. It commits a crime, but it can only take a non-creature spell off the stack. That's just so narrow. I'll take Outlaw Stitcher here over, like, another 5-drop over a 3-drop. Yeah, I'll take Stitcher. Essence Capture. Ooh, Hard Bristle Band is exactly what I want. I do want Jailbreak Scheme, too. to be fair. I've found this card to be quite strong, but Hard Bristle Bandit, it fixes, it ramps, it does all the things. I think my deck would happily play like 2 of these. Though you do want card advantage in your deck to make up for the fact that this is just such kind of like a dorky body, but we'll make it work. Ooh, Raucous Entertainer now. Oasis Gardener is, again, just like Silver Deputy, the type of fixin' I don't want to put in my deck, but I will if I really have to, but I'm not going to pass like a premium 2-drop for it. Raucous Entertainer. We don't have like any super combos with it. Like this can go pretty nuts with creatures that put multiple bodies on board at the same time, but it's just a great 2-drop. Yeah, Hard Bristle Bandit came back. I really will prioritize red. Basically, teamer-based fixin' for the last pack. I'll take a Failed Fort in here. I could take gems as well, but I don't have a ton of removal. Just having a cheap bounce spell's fine. Ankle Biter to the board. I don't want to start on 2 of those. Yeah, Varmint came back. Like, it's a fine 2-drop. I don't even think it's that good. But we got some power out of that pack for sure. We just need the fixin'. I mean, Bristle Bandits do a fine job. I hope not to play Ropeless Peermaster. Terror of the Peaks. Okay. Don't mind if I do take a double red card that I won't be able to cast. The power's in our deck. This would be a good deck for the 5-mana blue-green uncommon as well. I just have a lot of expensive things to cast off of it. But yeah, I'm not going to pass Terror of the Peaks here. And again, I wonder how close I could get to red-green. Probably unlikely at this point. I would have to drop a lot of blue. But we'll see. We will see. There's a Giant Beaver. There's a Scorching Shot. There's also a Highway Robbery, which I like a lot. Prioritizes one of these very highly in best of 1. Could just take Giant Beaver, like Hard Bristle Bandit into Beaver is pretty good. Scorching Shot is nice if I thought. I'm just going to do a real quick thing. 1, 2, 3, 15. I don't think I'm getting that many playables out of this pack, am I? Ankle Biter. I'm tempted to take the Scorching Shot is what I'm looking at, but I'll take Beaver here. Like, I do think having these 5-drops just prioritize being able to cast my 5-drops. If I can get there on red-green somehow, we'll do it, but I don't think we will get there, so we're probably going to have to be teamer-ish. That being said, Fling's actually like... I'm not going to pick Fling here, but Fling's like way more interesting when I have all of these top-end creatures. I am going to take Longhorn Sharpshooter. I think that's like the pretty clear pick here. This is 3-mana 3/3 reach, which is just a fine card to cast, but you can also plot it for an additional mana, deal 2 to your opponent. Would be pretty good if I could get Doc in the deck. And you see, like, I'm not passing Teamer lands. Like, they just don't come around. Like, you just don't get these lands unless you, like, threaten to punch someone's baby or something. They're only in half of the packs. 50% of packs have a 2-color land. I mean, this looks a lot better than my blue version. I'm going to be honest, if I can get there on playables. Lotus Ring? Equipped creatures +3/+3, sacrifice it, add 3 mana of any one color. Probably not. That's probably not the type of card we want. Though Possum. Very happy to take Possum here. Another 3-mana 3/3 with some upside. Most of the upside cards with it are my top end, which kind of sucks, but that's fine. I wonder, Lotus Ring could like fill out the deck. If either of these red cards come around, I wouldn't mind the Discerning Peddler, but take a Rambly Boy. Man, Visage Bandit, huh? So Visage Bandit plus Terror of the Peaks is incredible. I think I'm going to take that. My deck at this point probably would play a Silver Deputy, because it feels like I'm going to have to play some number of blue cards. Thunder Salvo would also be acceptable. Like, unexciting, but acceptable. Smuggler's Surprise, huh? And there's also a Deadeye Duelist. I'm not normally a fan of this card, but the 6-mana mode feels like it could be really strong in my deck. It's also, like, the fail case of 3 mana, pick up a land and a creature from the milled cards is probably okay. I don't think the card's that good, but I'm not going to take anything else here aside from a dorky 2, so, Yeah, that and it already got taken, so we're already in. I could take a Tornado here over another blue card. This is pick 7, so just the land situation is not happening. Tornado to fill out the deck, though not very exciting at all. There are better cards in that pack. Now we have to consider the Tumbleweed Rising. Yeah, is this where I finally like bite the bullet and play the stupid Tumbleweed Rising? Looks like it. Not a fan of the card. Didn't even see this the first time around. I guess I take Ferocification. Not huge on this one either, but it has decent amount of potential. We getting there on red-green? We're just short, it looks like. Like, I'd love to get these blue cards in the deck, but I just have no fixin'. I mean, I guess I have, like, some fixin', but it's not land-based fixin'. It's a little awkward. Sure, Sterling Hound. Not excited about that. Take an uncommon here. Why is Tomb Trawler in this set? Alright, and a bunch of mediocre blue. I don't think we saw a Teamer land in the entire draft. In fact, I don't know, what lands did we see? I saw a green-white land, I saw the one I took, and I think I saw another white-based land I could have taken. Are those the only lands we saw? That's kind of wild. That being said, the mana situation's a little awkward. Let's go ahead and put things where they belong, first off. I only have one desert for Arid Archway as well. I wonder if I'm just supposed to play this. Probably not, right? Tapped Island in my deck just to make my tarantulas better. It's kind of awkward. Alright, I think I'm going to ditch a Ankle Biter. Smuggler's Surprise at 3. This is functionally 4. That's when I'm going to cast it majority of the time. Everything else can stay where it's at. Yeah, man, this is why I've never been high on formats where the mana fixing is like just so critical, because you get in these situations where like two people at the table are just like, I'm going to take land, and all the good cards, and then everybody else at the table is like, well, I guess I didn't get any lands. The Arid Archway like doesn't even look that good here, but I do want a desert in my deck. No tumble. Yeah, man, these hard bristle bandits are going to have to pull a lot of weight. I mean, Roxanne can fix, but obviously that's not till really late in the game. I'm only playing 2 blue cards. I might not play Doc Orlok. I guess I just cut Doc Orlok, cut an island, play Visage Bandit off of island, plus these little mana fixing situations here. 14, 15, 16, 7, 8. It's not like great either. Could also cut Visage Bandit, not be cute with the mana, just play straight red-green with like a Sterling Hound or an Ankle Biter. And that's probably okay. Like the Visage Bandit, it is quite strong. It does some pretty strong things, but if I can't cast it, I can't cast it, right? Man, I don't want to really play a Sterling Hound, but that is what we get for shifting. I mean, I think these 2 red cards are single-handedly better than all of the blue cards we could play combined. Blue would be easier to play. Oh, man. Like, bring an Ankle Biter, take out Visage Bandit, or rather, bring in Sterling Hound, take out Island, go something like this. Beats, and then my removal package is Skewer the Critics, kind of a Tornado, kind of a Roxanne, Terror of the Peaks. Very, very creature-based removal. Hope we don't have to kill an X4. If we have to kill an X4, we might be in a little bit of trouble. Okay, so I don't think the draft went perfectly, but I think we've got a functional deck here, and I'm not going to get greedy with the mana. My Cactarantulas are not going to be maximized here in a deck that only has 1 desert, but I don't know, I would have taken a desert over a lot of different things there and didn't get the opportunity to do so, which happens a lot lately. Like, people know you can just draft a bunch of deserts, a bunch of good cards, and with there already being fewer deserts than you would expect, it's not great. This is an extremely slow hand, but if I need to run this out on 3, I can. And the format's not blistering fast that you absolutely have to do stuff on turn 1 and 2, but I would hope to do something by turn 3. And I would hope I didn't have to use this, but we'll see. Against Naya with Fixin'. Alright, I don't feel compelled to run out my Sharpshooter against that. See what they put on top. Blue-black line. Yeah, this has to be a person who was in our thing, right? So, yeah, let's just hold tight. Get the 2-for-1 value. On turn 5, we can cast this Hold Up Snakeskin Veil. That's pretty strong. Oh, Jolene's such a good target for this Sharpshooter. Couldn't have asked for better. Gotta love the green, white, blue, black desert in the same deck, right? This had to have been somebody in our pod who's also just like, land, which probably means they have like a bunch of bombs, like perhaps that card. I mean, I'm just gonna lose to this. It's gonna put way too much power on board next turn. Like, I can put a bunch of power on board, but this bomb is just gonna single-handedly kill me, it seems. I mean, basically 4 mana, 5/5 reach, trample, and all of your creatures come in with double power and tough, like, just nonsense. They go this into anything. Like, it could be a 2/2. They could play this into a 2/2, and it's just gonna crush me, you know? And I just don't have the removal to deal with it. Yep, so there goes Brawler into Bandit. Okay, Bandit's not the worst thing it could have been. Okay, that is a Vaultborn Tyrant next turn. That being said, what I could do here is... It gets +1/+2. I could crew Sharpshooter on Possum. Attack. If they block, then I can use the Sharpshooter to deal 2 to it. Basically 2-for-1 myself a little bit. Hold up Snakeskin Veil, hold up Skewer. If they don't block, I just use this to try and kill a Hard Bristle Bandit. And then they play like a 7-drop next turn. It's like a 12/12. I think I'm going to do that. This becomes a 4/5. I will bounce this to my hand. Can only plot at sorcery speed. They're just going to run it out. Do I just go Snakeskin Veil or do I go Skewer? Didn't feel like they had anything there. Alright, we're just going to eat your Railway Brawler. That's kind of absurd. And I'm going to kill your Hard Bristle Bandit now. I mean, yeah, I blew the Snakeskin Veil, but my Snakeskin Veil just killed a Railway Brawler. That being said, I mean, all these colors, they could play whatever. Unscrupulous Contractor, it's not bad. Sack a creature. Although, I mean, I get to just play Sharpshooter, Possum it, Vaultborn Tyrant as well. Yeah, my opponent is going deep here. Alright, let's play this Crew Possum. Let's crew with this. And they cannot block this. I will bounce that to my hand because it kills an Oasis Gardener. I could have waited, honestly. I could have waited on Vaultborn Tyrant and just killed Oasis Gardener as well. So we don't get, like, Villainous Wealth or whatever. Alright. That's not how I expected that to go. And I have no functional sideboard, so... Yeah, like, my sideboard just doesn't matter. Like, Ankle Biter might be a card I want. Because it blocks, but, man, it dies to Jolene, too. That's so bad. I have a lot of things that died to Jolene that I can't really do anything about here. Alright, let's run it back. Let's do the same thing again. The only reason I feel like I won there is they took the block with the Railway Brawler. Kind of wild. Slow hand. Not quite as good either, but maybe Sterling Hound can dig us to some of our better cards. Go Ankle Biter. Tornado. Unlikely to be that good. That's 3 to plot. Part of the reason I hate that card is you're plotting in the hope. I mean, it should be good at some point in this game. Voracious Varmint's fine. I'm gonna cycle Tornado here. Not anticipating flyers, and if they play one, so be it. Ferocification. I think I just want to hit land drops, right? I have no land for next turn, so I'm gonna jam, play Sterling Hound, try to dig towards land. That is land. Probably keep both on top. Like, I don't mind just drawing land here. Okay. I mean, their Varmint can kill Sterling Hound, so I'm just gonna take the block. They could just blow it up at any point if they want to. No Railway Brawler one time? Oh, stop. Alright, we do have the Ankle Biter. Feels like I'm supposed to just get this plotted. Next turn, I'm still stuck with the cards in my hand. I don't have a Desert for Tarantula. It's gonna be a tough one, but getting Frostfication down doesn't seem that important. And I'm gonna attack. If they get me with a big haste creature, so be it. So Brawler into something. Hopefully Snakeskin Veil can stop a removal spell in the Ankle Biter. The Ankle Biter is going to be what I need to get this stupid Brawler off the board. Yep. Sure, 6/5. No big deal. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right. Yeah, like what am I supposed to do about that? So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna play that. I'm gonna do something that doesn't matter, and then we're gonna hope to draw a land off the top. If we do, we can go Cack Tarantula, give it +2/+0, make an 8/8. As it stands, like, Skewer's just never gonna kill a creature ever again. Okay, not too bad. Like, keeping this Ankle Biter alive is important. They just have the backup removal spell, too. Shoot the Sheriff. Alright, I mean, take 11. Seems completely fair. That's not the worst either. It's really not the best. Makes a 6/6, though. So, give it +2/+0 in haste. Hit you for 6. Oh, doesn't give haste. Okay, that was my fault. We're dead. And they have a bunch of removal? That's so wild. I mean, I'm just dead. Like, I died on turn 6. My opponent played this on 4, had to follow up in 2 removal spells, and nothing I could do about it. I could have played another creature out there. Yeah, I mean, just don't draw a freaking Railway Brawler. I'm not going to be able to beat that card. I shouldn't have beat it game 1, to be honest. I really shouldn't have. They have good removal, too? It's not fair. It's really not fair. Oh, Jesus. I mean, my best cards, but I can't cast them? Alright. I think I need to play my best cards in a match for it to really go my way. I have a cycle here on Tornado. Raucous Entertainer's a decent one. So, pay mana to have creatures come in with a +1 counter, or all the creatures that did come in with a +1 counter, rather. Mourner's Surprise to make a 1/1. That's wild. That's very wild. That means they have, like, Unscrupulous Agent, nothing else they want to sack to it. Let's go ahead and play, or cycle Tornado, because we would play an Ankle Biter if we could. We would play Arid Mesa. Frostfication would have been a nice card to play this turn. And I'm going to hit you for 2. I'm assuming that they're playing Unscrupulous Agent, right? Like, hit me for 1. Mind Raider. Oh, that makes sense. That does make sense. Feels like I'm a turn behind, unfortunately. Roxanne will be good next turn, but if they just play like something huge, it's going to be a problem. I am going to give this +2/+0. I would like to actually trade if we can. Good, good. Menace and Haste. So Roxanne can actually come down, deal 2 to something with a meteorite, and then give it haste and deal 2 again. So I could take out a 4/4 right now. Can't take out a 4/5. Cannot take out a 4/5. It's very tempting. It's very tempting to go Terror and then try to do something with it next turn. But if I get Roxanne down and then I draw a creature next turn, there's a good chance I can go like Terror plus something else. So I'm going to play this, nug their Mercenary, give Menace and Haste. Had to play a 4/5, didn't you? And then hit them for 6. And now if I untap with Roxanne, I have 6/10 mana. Yep. Pulverizer, cast 2 spells. Roxanne does die to shoot the Sheriff, notably. Alright, that just dies to Roxanne. Alright, yeah, so we can go kind of nuts here. They've shown us Consume in Ashes. Alright, how do we want to play this turn? One, two, three, four, five, six. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 mana. Not quite enough to cast that 2 times. I could kill this with Terror plus Possum. Or I could just kill Bandit and... Alright, well, I don't think it matters too much because I'm gonna... Yeah, I'm overthinking. Let's just... I'm actually gonna leave them with their Pulverizer, I think. I'm gonna shoot that so they can't consume it. I'm gonna give Terror of the Peaks haste. And I'm gonna hit you for 11. Down to 1. Okay. Hold. Nice. Alright, well... I don't know if my opponent got punished on the colors there, or, I mean, I just drew all my best cards. That helps. But we take the dubs. It did look like my opponent tried to do the 5-color thing, but didn't get paid off for it. Like, it seemed like they were playing a kind of just variety of filler cards, despite having very good mana fixing. It's not where you want to be. But good game to the opponent. We're against Pank Pank. Of course we're against Pank Pank. Who else would it be? Y'all know, Pank Pank from the party. Don't look now, but Pank Pank just walked in. Gross. Again, we can't cast these for cheap, so they're just 2 6-drops in our hand. I honestly think I mulligan this. Like, Frostification's bad on the draw. Entertainer's the only thing I have going on. Like, if I drew land, we could go Hydra, perhaps, but this is asking for a lot to go right. Sure, I'll mulligan again, down to 5. I'll mulligan again. Alright, let's go to game 2. Sure, 2-lander into 1-lander into 1-lander into 1-lander. Seems good enough. I'm not interested in... Maybe I should have let my opponent show me like what they are, but I can't sideboard. I have no relevant sideboard. And I'm not interested in playing that game out. This is much better. Obviously much better. Bristly Bill on the play. If I have a different 2-drop, I'll play that first. Yeah, I like that one. Yeah, for obvious reasons, I think. Green-white. The Mobile Homestead is here. Pretty good card. I'm going to play Bristly Bill and then put a counter on Bristly Bill, I believe. Oh, I guess I'm tilted from the first thing. Like, I just missed my landfall trigger for no discernible reason. That's fine. It's okay. Nothing bad can happen. Gross. I do get to cast a Terror of the Peaks next turn. So that's something. Really. Holy Cow coming down. Okay, we can block Holy Cow, Fierce Retribution. I mean, there's some things. I guess Holy Cow mount this. But if they do that, I could just activate Bristly Bill, put another counter on it. I'll play Terror of the Beaks now. Even Interrupter. That actually, like, might not be that bad for me. So this plots a card off the stack, but I can cast it for 2 mana next turn. So if I have any follow-up creature play, like, I basically get to do this into that and leave my Terror unexposed to, like, sorcery speed removal for a turn. Like, it's not great that that happened, but it's really not that bad. It is worth noting Aven Interrupter in my opponent's deck. So reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land, put it on the battlefield tapped. If not, it just stays on top, so no land on top. They also didn't play Naya. Naya is the best performing color trio in our Discord server, for what that's worth. What you got, opponent? Like, just drawing a creature off the top would be incredible here. Yeah, I mean, that's a creature off the top. So, what we're gonna do now is put a counter here. I'm gonna attack. Then I am going to skewer the Aven. Untap. Play this for free now. Play a Sterling Hound. And shoot my opponent for 3 and surveil 2. Tumbleweed Rising be looking pretty good. I don't want that Entertainer now. I mean, barring actual Wrath, this looks decent now. And now they have to deal with Terror plus Bristly Bill. Does this come in with counters? No, it makes an XX. Alright, Discerning Peddler ain't gonna get it done. This also costs 3 life to target it. It's like Proto Ward. Discard a land. Yeah, if Homestead attacks, just not gonna block it. See no reason to block it here. I could try to trade with Sterling Hound, but I mean, it's easy for them to have something like Take Up the Shield. Also weird so far that, like, I would assume with this configuration that they're splashing red, but they played a Discerning Peddler, not a card you splash for, so this looks like they have the fight spell, Throw from the Saddle. Throw from the Saddle, kill peaks, you still go down to 6. Primal Might. Yeah, okay. I mean, you're just dead on board then. I will not block. And I will not show you any additional cards. Okay. That went smoothly. Primal Might's a hell of a card. Aven Interrupter's very strong as well. Primal Might's like kind of bad against Anglebiter. But what are we changing realistically? Nope. Throw it back. This is game 3, by the way. Remember, we played a non-game 1, so we're actually going to game 3 here. Which, I mean, I don't love my odds on the draw against a deck like this. But it's weird. I'm curious what the color they're splashing is. Because you don't splash a Peddler. But I don't know. Maybe they're just straight up Naya. This could go poorly. On the draw, I think I'll keep with the redraw here. It's going to be bad against Mobile Homestead. That's not a good draw. Yeah, Mobile Homestead is a card I have trouble killing. 2-drop, Hard Bristle Bandit, sure. Okay, did draw a land. Gonna cycle a Tornado on their turn. This could be useful at some point this game. So hopefully they just... Okay, Discerning Peddler, sure. See what they discard. Maybe digging for a land? No, they had a land in hand. Okay. Yeah. Bandit's good. People were talking about Bandit not being good. Alright. Cycle Tornado. Okay. So, I'm tempted to just skewer Hard Bristle Bandit now, so that they can't tap out for like a 5-drop. I could also get this exiled. And just save skewer for something, but I might not be able to skewer something. By the time I can cast this, I don't know. The 5-mana mode on this actually, or it's 6 mana, isn't it? Alright, I am going to, I could just play a 3/3 as well. I think I'm just going to skewer Bandit, as opposed to casting this. Take more damage from Peddler, but stop them from curving out into like a huge play. And then like I'm perpetually going to be behind, but I can kill the Peddler now. Free Strider Lookout's a good one. Okay, that, well, that's gonna be good. Dang, that's a tough one. Should probably just kill Peddler, get less damage going, but that does require me to do this. Okay, still behind by a turn here. Not getting this archway down sucks a little bit. But what we can do next turn, if we really need to, is we can cast a 3/3, cast Tumbleweed Rise, and make a 3/3, and then play Archway. They have all spells in hand, huh? I mean, I can also just wait, like... They clearly have, like, something in hand. Yeah, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go plot that, play Archway, bounce Forest. Oh, my opponent's getting a stop of some sort. And then next turn I can go Tarantula, Tarantula. Holy cow, comes down, sure. Gain 2, scry 1. Can also just do this. Put 2 Tarantulas into play at instant speed. It's probably pretty good. Secret Reach? Did we almost get him? It's not so secret anymore. Dang, we almost got Secret Reach. Okay, I'm gonna attack. I have 6 mana now. As cool as it would be to get like additional upside on that, they clearly have something they can cast. I could also just hold tight. Like if I do get to wait on this and add 2 additional mana to it, it's pretty spicy. Talking 2 turns from now, though. I guess I could have just played a Tarantula there. It's like pretty greedy not to. Plotting. Plotting a highway robbery instead of casting it? That's interesting. Yeah, sit. Play Varmint. I'm like getting way too cute with the... Yeah, okay, so I can go Tarantula plus Varmint this turn. And still have this up, plus next turn be able to use the mill mode. So I am going to attack now. Opponent's at 22 apparently. I guess they holy cowed. And if they like kill my Tarantula, so be it. I could hold this in case I draw Tyrant or let's just play that. It's a little greedy. It's a little greedy not to. I'm already getting greedy enough. I don't need to get more greedy, but like I'm gonna have 5 looks at either Vaultborn Tyrant or Terror of the Peaks. In which case this is a good follow-up to either of those. Alright, got a highway robbery. Not playing highway robbery? Are they going for like a slick shot kill? Like what's happening here? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have 2, 3, 4. I have 8 mana. Just gonna bash. Do whatever trick you got. If they target Cactarantula, I just draw a card. It's kind of gross. Opponent's getting a little mana screwed here, but not casting that highway robbery is incredible to me. Like, I'm not entirely sure what you would hold it for. Like, Slick Shot does come to mind. Whatever the card's called, the 1/2 bird. And I'm honestly fine with them doing like whatever tricks they have to do here. As long as it's not like Settle the Wreckage or something stupid like that I don't know is in the format. I'm just gonna take 9. Or I'm sorry, you're gonna take 15. Alright, go for it. I gotta go for a big turn here. Like, I'm just killing them on the board. I haven't even gotten to do my like big surprise. My big out of place Trojan horse in the Wild West set. Alright, so here comes the highway robbery now. Are they trying to like power up a Thunder Salvo? They discarded a Patient Naturalist, which must have been the draw. Free Strider Lookout, sure. They get another land, comes in tapped, presumably. They missed. They missed on the Free Strider Lookout trigger. That's unfortunate. Oh man, I didn't even... Oh. What? What was your hand? Show me your hand. Dang it, that sucks. I would have liked to know what my opponent was doing. The fact that they didn't cast the highway robbery that turn was incredible. Okay, I mean, we snuck the win out despite just like straight up shame concede in game 1. Which, you know, I think is right to do. My sanity is more important than my win percentage. Let's just put it that way. Opponent must have gotten unlucky in that last game. Xanta Ray. Let's see if we can run it back for a trophy. I don't think my deck deserves to trophy. I do have some bombs, though. I do have some bombs. And, I mean, these slow hands. Like, just give me a 2-drop. This is a 4 that stabilizes into a 5. I'm going to keep this and just, again, fingers crossed that they don't curve out. Like, again, greedy keep, but... Alright, we drew a 2. We drew a 2. Blue-white. Sterling Keykeeper. It's a fine one. Cactarantula, not the card I wanted to draw. I honestly just want to draw land here. Like, I don't want to draw... I guess Vaultborn Tyrant off the top. Maybe I shouldn't speak that into existence, but... This card's okay. Don't have to draft it very highly, but it's okay. Yeah, let's just take less damage, I guess. I don't know. I don't think either of those cards are important to my strat. That's a good one, but I'm just passing here, so we're going to take damage. Opponent's going to play another thing. I'm going to go ahead and do this, and then hopefully we can get something going with Spinewoods into Roxanne. Inventive Wingsmith. Okay, that's not the most threatening thing that could have happened. Take some more damage. Opponent's on the blue-white cast no spells deck, but they missed a land drop. Their board's not super threatening. Fortunately, Roxanne doesn't kill any of these. Yep. Tend to have a lot of counter magic in this deck as well. Alright, I'm gonna run this out. Plays around the Phantom Interference. And what I think I'm going to do here is just cast Tumbleweed Rising. I don't want to play into Phantom Interference, so I'm going to cast this, and if they try to do something in response to target my Paladin, I can Snakeskin Veil it, make an even bigger token. This token tends to be not very good against blue-white, because they have a lot of bounce, but I'm setting them up for it here. Oh, it just happened? Okay. I didn't get to make a 6/6 then. Alright, well I have some 5 power creatures on board now. Sure. Let's Snakeskin Veil that actually. It just makes them have to deal with another 5/4. Like some argument for waiting. Geyser Drake mana coming in handy there. Lasted by the Law, sure, it's going to take out the 6/5. Really? That's bizarre to me. It's very strange. Alright, so... Could play a Cactarantula, but I think we just play Roxanne. Why did they... I wonder if they have, like, Nurturing Pixie, and they're gonna pick it back up. I will play land here. Didn't pick up a Highway Robbery. That would have been a nice one. But they're kind of pressured into dealing with my board now, and then I'm just going to start playing Cactarantulas. Well, I'm going to attempt to play Cactarantulas. I am at 12. Like, I'm kind of dying. And they have me dead in 2 turns. I can cast both of these. Alright, They cannot Phantom Interference +2. Alright, I'm going to play Bristly Bill first, because if for some reason they have like a deal 5, like a very specific kind of removal spell, I can double the counters on Spinewood's Paladin. I'm going to go to combat. I don't think I'll need to do that. Oh, I should. I think I made a mistake there. Alright, let's see what happens. I should have cast Cactarantula before combat, because if they kill Roxanne now, I can't cast Cactarantula. Alright, they're going to let it through. And this is going to eat a counterspell, it looks like, but I'm going to cast it. Oh, they can Phantom Interfere. Right, the Geyser Drake. Okay, okay. See if they have a way to deal 2 extra damage here. If so, I just die. Otherwise, Roxanne just kills them before combat, so nice, nice, nice. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. So what I should have done is not get super cute with Bristly Bill, just cast Cactarantula, because that gets through Phantom Interference. Ankle Biters seem really bad, but again, I have nothing to bring in instead. Honestly, could just bring in blue-white land. I could just bring in desert. Because getting these down for 5 is so much better. I think, look, this is what I'm going to do. Ankle Biter seems terrible in this matchup. My opponent played nothing but flying creatures and tempo cards. I don't have a fight spell to make it work. Tornado actually pulling its weight here. I'm going to bring in just a colorless desert to hopefully get my Cactarantulas down. It goes up to 18 lands, but again, my filler card being Ankle Biter just not being a relevant card in this matchup. Okay. We've drawn so many hands like this. Again, I just a 2-drop, a 3-drop to pave the way. I don't know that this hand actually gets there against blue-white if they're going to be able to hold counter spells up, but we'll try our darndest. Opponent moles. You know what? That looks fun. I think I will do that too. And I wouldn't mind if they had a slower draw, honestly. Like, nice. Hey, I'm not going to run that out on 2. I'm not going to run that out on 2. Okay. Surely playing something here. Deep Muck Desperado. That's the mill one. Okay, I'm going to get Tumbleweed Rising down. This is whenever they commit a crime, they mill me for 3. I am still looking for another red source as well, for what it's worth. Opponent has a lot of 2/4s. Okay, looks like I have to just jam something into removal, or into a counterspell, otherwise not sure how much better it gets from here. I could play this, hold up Snakeskin Veil, since it doesn't look like... Yeah, I'm going to run out of 3/3. They counter it, they counter it. I could go for the Tumbleweed Rising here too. But I think that's going to be better on a different turn. See Holy Cow coming down? No. And this is where the Phantom... Like, if they tap out, I've got a huge turn. 4/4 into 4/4. Okay, and they're content to not tap out. I'm content to sit as well. pass. See if they can do something here on end step. Like, if they flash in a fire or something, the gig's gonna be up. Okay, Metamorphic Blast. That targets them. So, using the Snakeskin Veil doesn't matter. Roxanne's gone. milled a bunch of creatures. They drew 2. That's very annoying. I mean, this was Weave Fate, right? Weave Fate, mill your opponent for 3. I'd like to get to the point where I can cast this for 4 and play around Phantom Interference. Yep, Wingsmith's decent. Though Sharpshooter does just block that. Alright. I think I'm content to wait another turn. Four cards in hand from opponent, plenty of mana. So next turn what I can do is play Goldvein Hydra, X's 4. They're gonna jump up the Wingsmith here. You know, I have enough mana to do that. Should we wait on it? Because if they counter this, then that's fine, right? If they counter this, then I don't lose my creatures. If they let it resolve, I get to just go boom, boom. And then presumably if they counter this, that's one less counter they could have for the actual biggins. Trained Airings. Yeah, look, that's just one less card I have to worry about. Alright, I think I'm going to just fire this off. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm just gonna fire this off for 6. Might as well. Get them to... Hopefully they just like go full on Phantom Interference, full value Phantom Interference here, and then I can go, wow, really, they just let it happen? Alright, here comes... yeah, and my creatures are indestructible. Alright, so I'm going to deal 6 to this. I don't care about that. I'm actually going to kill this because that's a card that could kill me at some point. Draw 2, gain 6, deal 6. That feels pretty strong. And they're debating whether they want to interact with Sharpshooter now to get a trigger off Deep Muck Desperado. Nice. Nice, what a way to go. That's awesome. I wonder if they had the counterspell and they're just like, well, let's see what happens. That's an insane way to end that game. Alright, I did not think this deck would trophy, but a lot of things went right. So let's look at the deck real quick. So we drew our best cards a lot, and our opponents played slower decks. So that helped. Plus we had bombs. Like, our deck is slow and dirtily and kind of stupid, and these things didn't show up, but like we just have this pile of bombs here. Like, these are all insanely good cards. Snakeskin Veil came in. Man, Smuggler's Surprise, like, surprisingly good. Anything else? Like, I would shape this deck up way differently if I had a choice. And you see how much we waffled with blue, but Terror of the Peaks, wow. Okay, you know what? You take your trophies when you get them. You don't think about it. Sure, I have Tornado in my deck. Sure, I have a Sterling Hound in my deck, but I have no removal spells. But who needs removal when you can free roll Terror plus Vaultborn Hydrant into play? That was incredible. There were a lot of matches there where I don't think my opponent's decks were optimal, and I'm not saying that to like haha, you guys suck or anything like that. But I think I played against like non-optimal, pretty low-powered decks, like maybe in the same realm as mine. My first round opponent felt like they were waffling with multiple colors for not a lot of payoff, and second round opponent did some weird things with their mana and their highway robbery. And that last round opponent, I would have loved to see what their hand was there, because once they let this resolve, that was game over. Probably bounce spell or something. That being said, we take our trophies when we get them. Maybe this deck is just like more powerful than I give it credit for or something like that, but I don't really think it is. It's got like just so much filler, but the powerful cards showed up. So that's going to go ahead and do it for this one. I hope you enjoyed, as always. If you like this content, if you want to see more limited content, I'm always happy to put it out there. It's just a matter of me finding the time to sit down and record it. So if I hear from people that they want to see more drafts, I will find more time to do more drafts. Until then, check out the Jank Tank podcast with me, Chris, and Teld. We just posted episode 19 about how to evaluate cards for Cube. That's on the YouTube channel. You can also find it on Libsyn. And of course, come join our Discord server where you can talk to us about your decks. You can post your trophy decks and get on our leaderboard. You can talk about Cube and present your own personal Cube and just talk about Magic the Gathering, especially with Modern Horizons 3. Right around the corner, there's going to be a lot to talk about. So that's going to go ahead and do it. This was an awesome little trophy for a deck that I didn't think was going to get there. But my name is Timothy with JankDiverTim. I'll see y'all next time.